How you going, people? Do a crazy cop story here. I forgot what reminded me of this. I was talking to my buddy who's a camera looks a little off there. I don't know why that's crooked. Let's see if that straightens it up. Nah, it still looks crooked. Nah, I must have screwed the legs in wrong. So, I gotta go find a stinking place to print my tickets. You buy tickets, I got tickets to the Stars game tonight, go watch some hockey, and they want your cell phone number in order to print them to your cell phone, and then of course, you know, the fine print says we can sell your number and share it with our partners and crap, so I gotta go find, I don't have a printer, so I gotta go find some place to print it, but anyway, my project for today, go print my hockey tickets. So, this cop story was, you know, a little iffy. All the jackboot people that hate cops are, I knew it! Those damn dirty cops! Alright, get ready because you get to say it. We were dirty. So we're after this one little gang member up in Sacramento. It was when I was working for the gang task, either gangs or gun task force, I can't remember. So this guy either had a gun or he was involved in gangs. He either robbed somebody with a gun or a knife, or it was a strong arm robbery, force or fear. So we put out a warrant for him, and he didn't know we put out a warrant because he didn't know we had connected him. We went around, we kind of verified some leads, got some witnesses, figured out who did it, got some videotape, and said, okay, this is our guy. So we got an arrest warrant. Now, an arrest, when I say there's only 3 ways for a cop to get in your house: consent, exigency, or warrant. Those are the only 3 ways somebody can get in the house. You got to give them consent, they got to have a warrant, or there has to be some sort of exigency that the government can say, which is usually public safety, officer safety, whatever. So some sort of emergency, protection of life, prevention of destruction of evidence, all those things are exigency. And I say that consistently because those, if you remember that, and the cops are in your house, they need to have consent, a warrant, or they need to be exerting some sort of exigency. So we know this guy's a runner, and I can't remember his name. He had some fun, I think it was either like Polo or Paco. It meant something chicken or chicken wing was his street name. And he was a Vietnamese gang. He was in the Vietnamese gang. I mean, he hung out with some of the Mexicans, Sureños, Norteños, whatever. But he was a Vietnamese, I can't remember what gang he was in, but I know he was flying colors because when we went to his house, we found some colors of some gangs and we snagged it without a warrant. That's where all the people would be like, you dirty cops! So anyway, we get this warrant for this dude. We know he's a runner, so we park around the corner. We go sneaking up, me and my buddies, and we're sneaking up the house. And we're like, okay, he's probably going to run. All right, you sit by the window. You go around here in case he jumps out the window, because we knew what room was his, because we'd been there before because he's on probation. We'd done a probation search. So we knew this was his room. So we had him sitting outside the window. So he's over here. I'm knocking on the door. Nobody answers. So he looks through the window. Now, is that a unauthorized looking? Technically, maybe. I mean, that's not a normal path for the postman. It's around the corner and it's at the window. So technically, could a cop come up to your house, walk around the corner and look in your window? No. That would be an unlawful search, and anything he saw would be suppressed because of, you know, the exclusionary rule says, you know what, you weren't where you were supposed to be when you saw the evidence, therefore we're going to take the evidence to punish you. So, Joe's around the corner looking through the window illegally, but I don't think it's illegally. Why? Because I think we had exigency. We knew the guy was a runner. We knew he was on probation, so his reasonable expectation of privacy has already been either given away from the court or he signed it to be out on probation. And we had, you know, we had an arrest warrant. We knew he was running, so you know, whether or not a court would rule that would be illegal. And again, we weren't searching for drugs. If we were looking for a murder weapon and Joe did that and looked through the window, we could lose the murder weapon. So cops wouldn't do that, or they shouldn't do that, because you can risk losing good evidence. The only thing we were looking for is the body. We had a warrant, an arrest warrant to seize the body. Therefore, we were only looking for the body. If we lost the body, we were no worse off than we were before. So even if it was technically maybe by the letter of the law illegal, and somebody ruled it was illegal, I mean, that would be a luck of the draw. 50% of the judges would say, no, you're fine, he was on probation, you had an arrest warrant, you knew he was a runner, no problem. 50% of the other judges go, you know what, you shouldn't have done that, you should have went to the front door and waited for him to run, develop your ecstasy, and then you could go to the window. So it would be a luck of the draw. And of course, the jackboot people who hate cops will be like, you cops are freaking dirty. Well, yeah, okay, we are. We're out trying to arrest people who are freaking robbing poor victims, and we're just dirty as can be. Woo! So nobody answers the door. Joe says, I don't see anybody. So now I start doing my window search. So we're walking around the house, we're searching the windows, we go back to the front door, we're looking, we don't see any cars, and we're like, shit. And, I forgot to tell you, the door was open, the hard door was open, but there was a screen door that was closed. So can we enter this house when no one's home to look for this guy? Some people would say yes, some people would say no. Now I think the letter of the law is we have to have reasonable belief that he's in there in order to go in and find him. So did we have reasonable belief he was in there? We had questionable belief that he was in there because we knew he was a runner. If he saw us approaching, he was going to dig in and hide. He could be hiding in a closet in his room. We didn't know. So could we enter that house? I know all the people who are hating cops are like, this cop's freaking dirty. Look, it's always about weighing the game legally. What are you going to lose? What's the cost? What's the benefit? What's the reason you're doing it? If cops are doing this to steal money, to get drugs, to plant evidence, absolutely it's wrong and it shouldn't be. If they're doing it to catch a known guy that they have a felony warrant, you got to weigh and balance the scales. So we weighed and balanced the scales on the side of, screw it, we're going in. So we went in. The screen door wasn't locked, the door was open, so we're like, police, arrest warrant, police, arrest warrant. Of course, we have our guns out, we clear the house to make sure nobody's hiding, and we don't find him. Okay, so now what? Well, can we search the house because it's arrest warrant? We can search it for the suspect, but we shouldn't be searching it for other things. But if we're there legally, we can search or seize evidence in plain sight, which we did. Because as we're opening the closet, clearing the closet, and looking around the room, we see gang colors, what we call gang indicia. We see gang writings on the wall where he's written in his gang print. He's got his name, Paco, Chicken Wing, whatever his name was. I want to say it was Chicken because he's fast. They said nobody catch him. If you ever try to catch a chicken, it's pretty difficult. So they said he was a fast guy, and I think his street name was Chicken, but I can't remember. It was something pretty funny because we used to laugh at him. And he was a little guy. But anyway, so we don't find him. So we snag the stuff that we see. We snag the evidence. And in his room, he had this really nice guitar. And because we looked under the bed, the mattresses were moved. Because we opened the closets were open. So it looked like the house had been rummaged through. And we wanted it to look that way. So we took his guitar. You dirty cops, you stole it! Oh, shut up and listen to the story. We took his guitar and we took it to the dirtiest room in the house because there was probably 15 people living in this house, all on welfare, taxpayer dime, free housing, free internet, air conditioner turn on high because they don't have to pay electricity. I mean, just whatever. All kind of shit that pisses us off every time we go arrest these stinking thugs. So we take his guitar, this nice guitar, and we hide it. Like, I want to say it was either in a pantry or in the back of a closet. You know, the house is kind of trashed, probably behind cleaning goods because we know nobody would go in there and find it. So, did we steal something? No. Should we be hiding stuff? Well, you know, probably shouldn't, but we did. Because when he came home and he saw his guitar stolen, we were like, he'll call cops. So we leave the house, we have it put on the computer, we notify dispatch, say, hey, we just try to locate a guy at this house. And if he calls to report a burglary, because we were inside his house, we didn't say we hit his guitar and made it look like there was a burglary. But we said if he calls because there's a burglary, do not dispatch a MARC unit, call us. So sure enough, we're out cruising around a couple hours later looking for some other knucklehead, and dispatch calls, goes, hey, that house you told us to flag on is calling, is saying he was burglarized, he wants to file a report. We're like, cool. So we go back, sneak around the house, we park around the corner because they know our cars. They know we're the gang guys. So if they see us, we know they're going to run. So we park around the corner so they don't see our car. We come around, walk through the trees all the way around the corner, walk up the house, and we knock on the door and we're watching his window. We knock on the door and Mom answers the door. Of course, screen door's there and the door's open. So she walks up the screen door and goes, yeah, I said, did you call to report a burglary? And she goes, yeah. She hollers back, Chicken or Paco, whatever his name is. Cops are here for your report. So here he comes around the corner and we know he's going to run. So as soon as he does that, I open the door because I know he's going to bail. So I open the door, Joe gets ready, we're waiting for him to come around. We haven't crossed the barrier yet, although I think we could have, we'd have been fine. But the mom was kind of standing in the door waiting. And as soon as he sees us, it's like deer in the headlights. Shit! Boom, he's back to the room. So now we have exigent for sure we're going in. We knock Mom down, haul back there, we arrest him, take him to jail. He's like, what about my guitar? Somebody stole my car. We go, you big dummy. Nobody stole your guitar. We hid it. It's in the other room and shit. We knew you'd call. Oh man, you guys are gangsters. You guys are just wrong. So we're laughing. We're like, come on, dude. We're smarter than you. Let's go. And we took him to jail. So how many laws did we violate? How many crooked, unethical, violating our oath, being dirty, crooked cop? I don't know. Look, you can see it for what it is. Cops try to work within the law and they try to bend it, and there's a risk analysis like in anything. What's to gain and what's to lose? We didn't suspect this guy of murder. We weren't looking for murder weapons. We weren't looking for dead bodies. We were looking for him for the robbery. So we got him, and here's the problem with unlawful entry to arrest somebody. People go, that's why the law is crooked. And the law is screwed up this way. If I enter your house illegally to arrest you, and I book you in jail, and you challenge that in court, the court may rule in your favor and say, you know what, you're right. They had no reason to go in your house. However, you're in custody, you had a warrant, and we're not letting you go. So what's the cost for a cop to go in there? We got limited immunity, we're acting within the scope of our authority, we're chasing a felon, so we're not going to get sued. If we do get sued, we're not going to lose. If we do get sued, the government's going to protect us. So what's the justification for not entering a house illegally to arrest somebody? Slim to none, a slim left town. So cops do this kind of regularly. If all we're risking is to lose the body, we're going to bend the rules a little bit. But again, and I know people are going to say, it's black and white, and cops should be above the law, and you should never do it, and you should walk a straight line, and blah, blah. And I agree with that to a certain extent. However, if the law is kind of iffy in a certain area, and it's allowed to be bent, or it's up for interpretation, which all law is, and we can get a bad guy off the street so he doesn't kill or hurt or rob somebody, he may rob the next person, they may resist, he'll end up stabbing them or shooting them. So, somebody may go, you guys shouldn't have got him, you should have let him go. Yeah, and then he goes out and commits a robbery, car theft, he runs from the cops, he blows through a stop sign, kills a woman and 4 different kids in the car, kills them all because we were worried about, by the law, being good Officer Joe, we shouldn't go in because we don't have really exigency and we're pushing, that's bullshit. Cops, when we're after bad guys, we kind of get the bad guys, and it's a risk and a reward analysis. What do we got to lose? It is what it is. You may not like it. You may think I was a dirty cop. I think I was a good cop, but that's my crazy cop story. Chicken flapped his wings to jail. All right, we'll end that there.